Sit in a comfortable position and ensure that the spine is straight and the head and neck are in line with the spine. The shoulders should be back and down, but relaxed, opening up the chest. The eyes lightly closed, as well as the mouth lightly closed, and the hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice. And take a long, deep inhalation now, long, deep yogic breath in. And as you exhale, release all the events of the day. And a long, deep inhalation now, another one. And this time, when you exhale, release all the conversations and interactions that you've had today. Whatever form they may have taken, in person, online, on the phone, in the digital space, just let them all go. And again, another long, deep inhalation. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you may need to do after the class. And just allow yourself to be right here, right now. There's absolutely nothing else that you need to do right at this moment. And return to the natural breath. And in this class, we will complete some gentle asanas, some pranayama breathing practices, and we will finish with a yoga nidra. In a moment, we will move the awareness through the body. And as we do that, please take notice of any feelings of irritation or soreness or pain in the body. And just be very mindful of these when we complete the practices. Just work within your body's range of movement. Really listen to your body. And if something doesn't feel right, please do something else, or even just visualize the practice, because it can be just as effective. So now move the awareness to the soles of the feet. And as you do this, gently move the awareness up into the feet and into the ankles. Just checking in to see how the ankles are feeling, and up into the shins and the calves. Now move the awareness into the knees and into the thighs and the buttocks. Move the awareness now into the hands as you feel them resting on your thighs, and into the wrists, up through the forearms, into the elbows, and into the upper arm. And now move the awareness into the torso, moving the awareness up through the chest to the neck. Around now to the back, and move the awareness up through the back, up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you reach the back of the neck. Moving the awareness now to the back of the head, the crown of the head, and also into the face, releasing any expression in the face. And gently rest the awareness now at the eyebrow center, and visualize here a steady candle flame, a symbol of a luminosity. And together now we'll chant Om 3 times, and Om Shanti, and I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to our practices and to each other. Breathing in now for Om chanting. Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahano Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahe. Tejasvinadvaditamastu. Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. And now come to Parambik Sthiti, the base position. Moving very gently, bringing the legs out in front of the body. Bringing the hands behind the buttocks with the fingers facing away. And just ensuring that the spine is straight. And just rest a few moments in this position first. And we'll begin with ankle rotation. So we'll be moving the feet just from the ankles in a clockwise direction first for 5 rounds, inhaling on the upward movement and exhaling on the downward movement, placing the awareness in the ankle joints, and then we'll reverse it for 5 rounds. So bringing the feet down towards the floor first and then around together to the right, bringing the feet back towards the body, around to the left. Really slowing it down and observing what's happening in the ankle joints. You may like to close your eyes to help withdraw the senses. And really aiming to synchronize the breath with the movement, helping to bring about that body, breath, mind connection. If you've completed your rounds, just come back to stillness and observe the movement of energy in the ankle joints. Our next practice will be the knee rotation. So bringing the right foot in front of the right buttock, clasping the hands underneath the knee, and just raising the leg off the floor. So we're going to move the bottom half of the leg in a clockwise direction first, rotating from the knee joint. And then we'll do it in the opposite direction for 5. Place the awareness in the knee joint, and then inhale on the upward movement, exhale on the downward movement. And again, observing what's happening in the knee joint. When you've finished on the right leg, gently bring the foot flat back to the floor and glide the foot along the floor to protect the knee. And just take a few moments to observe the difference between right and left before moving on to the left leg. And that's all in your own time. And a similar thing with the left leg. Make sure after your final round you bring the foot flat on the floor in front of the buttocks and then gently move the leg along the floor just to protect the knees. And again, take a few moments just to observe the effects of the practice. And we'll move now to the hips. So bring both feet in front of the buttocks, flat on the floor. Open up the knees towards the floor and put the soles of the feet together. Check in with your posture and make sure that the spine is straight and clasp the hands around the feet. And allow the knees to fall towards the floor without pushing or straining. Just see where they naturally fall. Inhale and bring the knees up to the arms. This is Tatali Asana. Exhale, bring the knees down towards the floor. Complete 10 rounds in this way, and you'll observe how the hip opens just a little bit more, just naturally, with each round. And then when in your own time you've completed your 10 rounds, ensure that you bring the knees back together and gently move the legs along the floor again. And just come back to the base position and observe how you're feeling in your ankles, your knees, and your hips from these practices. And we'll move now to the upper body. So we'll do another rotation. So bringing the arms out at shoulder height, placing the thumbs on the palms and wrapping the fingers around the thumbs. And just do it gently. So don't really squeeze the fist, just have them gently in fists in this way. And we'll do a wrist rotation. So we're just moving the fists from the wrist joint. So inhale and then move the wrists around to the right, exhaling on the downward movement, inhaling on the upward movement. Observing the release of tension in the wrist joint, but also in the forearms from this practice. And after 5 rounds in the opposite direction. And if you don't need to rest, we're going to move from this straight into shoulder rotation. If you need to rest your arms, that's perfectly fine. But if you can move into the next practice after your 5th round, please feel free. So for shoulder rotation, bringing the palms up and placing the right hand on the right shoulder and the left hand on the left shoulder. Again, checking your posture, elbows together in front of the body. Inhale, bring the elbows up, back, and down. Exhaling on the downward movement and bringing the elbows together in front of the body again. This is 1 round. Complete 5 rounds in each direction. And observe again the release of tension in the top of the shoulders. This is a really great practice to do if you're sitting at a desk for long periods of time, or even if you're driving for long periods, but clearly once the car is stopped, this can just help. It's like a little circuit breaker. And up to your final round in your own time. Bring the hands back to the thighs or the knees. And just close the eyes and observe the effects of this practice. We'll continue with our rotation type theme with the neck rotation. But before we go into this, just be very gentle with the neck. It can be very fragile and sensitive. So just ease in, make sure the movements are very smooth and not sort of jerky in any way. And just first of all, feel out your range of movement, particularly with the first couple of rounds. So making sure that you're sitting up straight. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Bring the right ear over to the right shoulder. Then bring the head back behind the body to where it's comfortable for you. Inhale, and you bring the head back. And then as you bring the left ear to the left shoulder, exhale as you bring the head in front of the body again. This is one round. Complete 5 rounds in each direction, or up to 5 rounds. Whatever's right for you and your body. And observe just the release of tension in the neck at the different parts of the neck as you rotate the head around. This can be another great one for feeling stressed. Often when we're feeling stressed, we tend to clench our jaw, which ends up with our neck being quite strained, and this can help to release that. Own time when you've completed your rounds. If it's okay to have your eyes closed, make sure the head and neck are back in alignment with the spine. And just observe all the movement of energy from the neck right down through the parts of the body that we have worked so far. We'll next do a movement called churning the mill. So again, in that sort of rotation type theme. So bring the legs out as wide as possible for you. Again, without pushing or straining, checking that you're sitting up straight. Bring the arms out in front of the body and clasp the hands together. And what you're going to do is it's like you're going to be stirring a big pot or churning the mill. So inhale, then exhale, bring the body forward, keeping the arms up, swing the arms over to the right foot, and then bring the body back, taking up at the abdomen, so leaning back, and then bringing the arms over the left foot. So you can go as quickly or as slowly as you would like. Do 5 rounds in each direction. Just trying to make sure that the arms stay up. And you might find the more that you do, you're able to lean forward a bit more or back as the body warms up. And then when you've completed the practice, come back to the base position and take a few moments to rest. Next, we'll do a spinal twist. So for this one, bring the legs out apart again to where is comfortable. Bring the arms out to the side. And this move, I think someone got enough room. And so for this one, you're going to bring the opposite, so the left hand to the right foot. So if you can't reach down to that, that's fine. You can just hold it up, or you can just put the hand on the knee wherever is comfortable for you. So bringing the left arm to the left foot, or onto onto the right foot or the right leg, back to center, and then doing it on the other side. So bringing the right hand to the left foot, or wherever's right on the left leg for you, and gaze over that shoulder, gaze over the opposite shoulder. I'm sorry, my instructions are to do with this. So back to center, left hand to left leg or foot, right arm out, gazing over the right shoulder. So complete 5 rounds on each side. And then when you've completed your rounds, come back to the base position and rest the arms and just observe where the movement of energy happened for you in the body from that practice. And now we'll do a practice where we're on all fours. So coming onto all fours and ensuring that the hands are directly below the shoulders and the knees are directly below the hips. So we'll do a practice called, it's the tiger posture. But for this one, we will start on the right side. So actually, I might turn around so you can see. So for this one, what you do is, it's about putting the right leg out, and if you can do it just above the hip height. Now you can either bend it, or you can just have it out and keep the head up. So this is, and then the next part of the practice is you bring the knee in and breathe, tuck the head in to nearly meet the knee. So complete 5 rounds in this way. Remembering to breathe. So inhaling, exhaling. So you can either bend the knee or not. And then when you've done your 5, bring the knee back, put the head in the neutral position. And again, take a few moments to observe the difference between left and right. And then do the practice on the left side. So with the left side, bringing the leg out, lifting the head up, bringing the head in to meet the knee. And then when you finish your bit, bring the buttocks to the heels, and you can either bring the arms out in front of the body for Shashanasana, or you can put them by the sides. If you've got low blood pressure, you can make this and just rest your hand on this like that, just so your head's above your heart. And just relax into the position. And then when it's right, you come back to the base position. And we'll do one more asana before we move on to pranayama. So for this one, we might do another spinal twist. So bringing the right foot to the outside of the left knee, making sure that you're sitting up straight. And then with the left arm, sort of cup the knee in the elbow. Bring the right arm around behind the body, around to the buttocks with the fingers pointing away, and make sure you're sort of sitting up straight, and then twist looking over that right shoulder. Another variation is with the left leg, you can bring it around behind the right buttock and turn. And breathe into the position. You'll find with each breath you're able to turn a little bit more. And then when it's right for you to come out of the position, so twist around, bring the legs out in front of the body again. And this time, bring the left foot to outside the right knee. And then you can either bring that right foot behind the left buttock or keep it straight, sitting up straight, putting the right elbow, the inside of the right elbow around the left knee, and bringing the left arm behind the buttocks, and then twisting, looking over that left shoulder. And when it's right for you, come out of the position and complete another round on each side. And just hold for your own duration. And once you've completed the practice, come back to base position, close the eyes, and again, just observe the effects of all of the practices that we've completed so far. And then when it's right for you, come into a comfortable sitting position, ready for pranayama breathing practices. So showing that you're sitting up straight, head and neck are aligned, and the chest is open. And with the eyes closed, bring the awareness to the natural breath at the nostrils. And just observe how, with the natural breath, The chest expands on the inhalation, and then the abdomen expands. And then on the exhalation, the abdomen subsides, and then the chest subsides. And our practice through this class will be Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So bringing the first finger and the middle finger to the eyebrow center, placing the right thumb on the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril to the eyebrow center. A nice abdominal breath, so no shallow breaths. And then cover the left nostril with the ring finger and cover the right and exhale out of the right nostril. Inhale again through the right nostril to the eyebrow center. Cover the right and cover the left and exhale out of the left nostril. So it's inhaling through the left, exhaling from the right, inhaling from the right, exhaling from the left. We'll complete this practice for around 2 minutes. So if your arm is getting a little tired, just support it with the other arm. This practice is a really great way to return to stillness if you're ever feeling overwhelmed. And so the next time you exhale from the left nostril, release the hands from the face, keep the eyes closed, and just concentrate on the breath going through both nostrils to the eyebrow center. And now very gently and mindfully, lie down in Shavasana to prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. Ensure that you have your coverings or cushions or whatever you may need, so you don't need to move once we begin the practice. Lying down in Shavasana with the legs a little bit width apart, all tension released from the legs so that the feet flop to the sides. The arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up. There's balance between the left and the right side of the body. And to check that your head and neck are aligned, you may like to tuck in your chin just a little. And take a long, deep inhalation And on the exhalation, allow the body to melt into the floor. Take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release the body into the floor. Release any remaining tension. And again, take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, when you exhale, just check that you've released all tension and expression in the face. Check that you've unclenched your jaw, that you're not clenching the muscles behind the eyes. Just release any tension in the face. And feel the body's contact against the floor, beginning with the heels against the floor. Feel the back of the legs against the floor. Feel the buttocks against the floor. And the back against the floor. Feel the back of the hands and the arms and the shoulders against the floor. Feel the back of the neck and the back of the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact really just make one singular point of contact between the body and the floor. And become aware of sounds now, listening for sounds far off in the distance, but don't try to identify or name the sounds in any way. Just move the awareness from sound to sound as you hear it. And now move the awareness to sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And now move the awareness to sounds inside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from one sound to the next. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now move the awareness to the sound and sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. If you don't have one, leave some space because it can emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen to my instructions, and when I repeat the name of a body part, place your awareness there Mentally repeat the name of the body part and visualize that body part. We'll begin with the right side of the body with the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. Moving now over to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And moving now to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, the crown of the head. Moving now around to the face, beginning with the forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the temples, the eyes, the ears, the cheeks, the nose, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, and the pit of the throat, the collarbones, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together. The whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. Release the body rotation now, and instead bring the awareness back to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath at the nostrils and how subtle it's now become. And observe the rise and fall at the navel in response to the natural breath. And we'll now add a count to the natural breath, counting backwards from 14 in the following way. Breathing in, 14. Breathing out, 14. So counting backwards from 14. If you lose count, begin again. If you reach 1, begin again. Breathing in, 14. Breathing out, 14. Breathing in, 13. Breathing out, 13. Just moving along to the natural breath. If the mind wanders, use the breath just like an anchor. Bring it back to the practice. Release the count now and feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body is feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it's outside on an icy winter's day, and the wind whips through your clothing and chills you to the bone. You shiver from the cold. Your hands and your feet feel numb. Your nose feels numb. Your eyes are watering from the cold. Your body feels colder and colder, like it's outside on a freezing winter's day. Release this feeling of cold now and replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels as though it's inside a sauna and the heat has just been turned right up. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body. The hands and the fingers feel clammy and sweaty, and sweat drips from your face. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's inside a sauna and the heat's just been turned up. Release this feeling of heat now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy, it feels like it's made out of lead and it's pressing against the floor. The body feels so heavy, it feels like it might even fall through the floor. The arms feel heavier, the legs feel heavier, the head and the torso feel heavier. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, like it's made out of lead and it's pressing against the floor. And release this feeling of heaviness now and exchange it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body is feeling lighter and lighter, so light it feels like it's barely touching the floor. The body feels so light it feels like it's almost hovering above the floor. So light that it feels like it may drift away like a cloud at any moment. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, like it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. Release all of these sensations completely, and instead come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes, and in this space, see, imagine, visualize, or create the following objects and images. You are standing on a cliff top overlooking the ocean, and right on that cliff top is a beautiful house. You're standing on the doorstep in front of the front door, and the front door is your favorite color. And you knock on the door. No one really answers, but it just gently opens, and you feel welcome. You feel like you can go in there, and so you do. You walk in through the front door, and you're guided by rose petals on the floor, directing you into a room. And so you go into the room, and it's a beautiful bathroom, and it has full-length windows that are overlooking the ocean. And there is a bath there that is already drawn for you. And the rose petals actually stop where the bath is. There are beautiful candles surrounding the bath, and you can smell the scent of roses in the air, and there's even rose petals in the bath. There's no one around at all, and soft music is playing, your favorite music that always makes you feel happy and peaceful. And so you decide to hop in the bath, and as you do, it's warm and cozy and welcoming and inviting, and you feel so relaxed and at ease. And next to the bath is your favorite drink, whatever that may be, and you just feel so wonderful overlooking this beautiful natural scene outside the window, and just feeling relaxed with all your favorite things around you. And you just take in this moment of pure enjoyment. There's no one asking you for anything. There's no one contacting you. It's just you in your element with all your favorite things around. But you know, eventually, just with anything, the bath begins to run a little cold, and you know that it's time to go. And while it's not unpleasant, you know it's time to leave and come back into the room. And so you jump out of the bath very gently, and there's a beautiful fluffy robe there for you. And again, you just feel so relaxed and happy and at ease. And so whoever made this beautiful scene happen for you, you wish them well and thank them. And you know it's time now to come back. So you walk out of the bathroom still wearing your fluffy robe, and you walk down the front stairs of the house, and you overlook the beautiful ocean in front of you. And then you walk further, and you're outside the room now that you are in. You come inside and lie down on your mat, and just remember that moment of pure bliss and joy that you had in that beautiful bathroom. And it's time now to call to mind your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you had one from the beginning of the Yoga Nidra. If you have one, mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't, leave some space for it may emerge on its own. And begin to feel the breath in your body again, allowing the breath to deepen just a little. And as you do, observe the movement the breath makes in the body. Observe how the back moves against the floor with the inhalation. And check in with your body and observe how you're feeling right now. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. Begin to remember the details of the room that you're in. The colour of the floor, the colour of your mat, the colour of your clothing. Remember the time of day and begin to hear the sounds around you and the world attached to those sounds. Begin to make small movements with the fingers and the toes, allowing your body to gently externalize. You may like to move your head gently from side to side. Move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may also like to roll on your right side. And then when it's right for you, there is no rush, but when it's right for you, come into a comfortable sitting position. Keeping the eyes closed, if you can, just to maintain the peaceful state that you have created. And we'll move the awareness now through the body like we did at the beginning of the class, but this time comparing how you feel now to how you felt at the beginning. So moving the awareness gently up through the soles of the feet and into the ankles, and up through the shins and the calves. Moving the awareness into the knees, into the thighs and the buttocks, in through the fingers and the hands, and up through the arms to the shoulders. Moving the awareness up through the torso and up through the back and through the spine. Moving the awareness into the neck, into the back of the head, into the crown of the head, and into the face, before gently resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the practice. Breathing in, Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.